What's going on, my trainer club? Today we're going to check out the top Thundurus counters in Pokemon Go to make sure you are ready, prepped to get everything you need to know to beat this Thundurus. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go! Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, are you excited to switch from Tornadus to Thundurus? I am excited about this Pokemon. I really like it. It gets a pretty unique moveset, and it is going to be fun to fight. And plus, the month of March is absolutely jam-packed with a bunch of amazing events. So today, we're going to get into everything you need to know, including the 100% IVs, the counters, as well as the moveset and the weather combination that is going to help you beat Thundurus in Pokemon Go. So before we get into it, on March 4th is going to be the last time you guys can order any of my St. Louis merchandise. So if you plan to go to the event or you just want to collect it, go to thetrainerclub.com. You can get shirts, hoodies, long sleeves, and then I also have my new pop sockets up there. So make sure to go over there if you want them. But now back to the Thundurus counters in Pokemon Go. Thundurus is going to be an electric and flying type Pokemon. It's going to have a max CP of 3,345 with an attack of 266, a little bit lower on the defense and stamina. So it is definitely an attack heavy Pokemon. With those two typings, it's going to make it weak to two things, which are going to be rock and ice. So I think you guys can guess what the top counters are going to be, but we do have movesets that are going to kind of shake things up a little bit and put a lot of these Pokemon with vulnerabilities out there. But it's also going to resist bug, fighting, flying, ground, grass, and steel. And as far as the 100% IVs, it's going to share the same IVs as the Tornadus. So Thundurus 100% IV level 20 is going to be 1911. And then weather boosted, which is going to be in two conditions, which are going to be wind and rain with the electric and the flying, for the 2389 at level 25. So those are the 200% IVs to look out for. And as far as its movesets, it's going to get Thunder Shock for a quick move, as well as Astonish, which is a ghost move, which is quite unique. And then it's going to get Thunder, Thunder Punch, Brick Break, as well as Crunch for the charge move. So there are 4 different combinations, pretty unique. So the one things we do have to take into account is that fighting is going to be strong against rock and ice, right? So although Brick Break is not the most powerful move, it is a spammy move, so it's going to get off pretty frequently. And Dark is going to be powerful against Psychic, which is going to come into a play as we check out the counters. And before we get into the top counters, what are the party sizes that you need? So under ideal conditions, you can beat it with 3 trainers. That's going to be Best Friend Boost, Weather Bonus, and probably with the best type moveset that's not going to be powerful against your counters, because you don't want your counters to be dying out, because dying out wastes charge moves, energy. But ideally, we're going to look at 4 to 6 players, and if you are a lower level trainer with lower level Pokemon, 7 and up. However, the bigger size parties, the less you're going to have to worry about having the best counter for these Pokemon. So now we're going to get into my top counters to make sure you guys know what to make up your parties with. So let's check it out right now. The number 1 counter is going to be Mamoswine with Powder Snow and Avalanche. The one problem with the Mamoswine is that it is going to be weak to the fighting move. So Brick Break is going to come through and have a little bit of damage going on here. So when populating your party, it's probably going to be in your best interest to try these Pokemon out, see how much damage Brick Break will do to some of these Pokemon, and see which Pokemon are going to be the best to be able to handle it. Which brings us to counter number 2. Number 2 is going to be Rhyperior with Smackdown and the Rock Wrecker moveset. So this Pokemon, really effective. However, the Rhyperior is also going to be weak to the fighting move of the Brick Break. So you guys are going to have to take into account these movesets as you are building your party. And counter number 3 is going to be Terrakion with the Smackdown and the Rock Slide combination. It is also going to be weak to fighting moves. And then to counter number 4, which is going to be Rampardos. I know there are other simulators out there that are saying Rampardos is the number 1 counter. However, the reason why I'm putting and trusting Pokemon Go Hub at number 4 is because it is dying a tremendous amount of times. So in order for you to go through successfully with Rampardos for the entire thing, you're going to have a lot of deaths. And with a lot of deaths is wasted energy. So for me personally, I would rather have a slightly bulkier, less attack heavy Pokemon and be able to sit in there longer and not have to go through those death cycles as I would having the Rampardos with eating up your potions and everything like that. But if you do have a bunch of Rampardoses, it's going to be great with the Smackdown Rock Slide combination. And in number 5, we have the Tyranitar with the Smackdown Stone Edge combination. The one thing about the Tyranitar, it is double weak to fighting because it is rock and it is dark. So it's going to be double weak to fighting. The other thing I'm not the biggest fan of Tyranitar is its Stone Edge. So it's going to have a 1 bar charge move as opposed to a lot of these other Pokemon that are 2 and 3 bar charge moves. So it's definitely something that you're going to want to take into account. And if you don't have any of the previous Pokemon that we have already mentioned, Tyranitar may be a great option for you. Just be careful of the Brick Break. And in number 6, we have Frost Breath Avalanche for the Glaceon. Glaceon is another Pokemon. It's going to be an all ice type Pokemon, so it is also going to be weak to the Brick Break move. And in number 7, we have the Weavile. The one problem with the Weavile, it is also double weak to fighting with Dark and Ice type combination. So the Tyranitar double weak, Weavile double weak. However, Weavile is very attack heavy and it does have some powerful moves with Avalanche, which brings us into our next counter, which immediately when I saw these movesets, I was like, oh, Mewtwo. And then I went and looked at the Thundurus moveset and I saw that it got a Ghost Quick move and it got a Dark Charge moves, which are 2 of Psychic Pokemon's weaknesses that are going to make up for the Mewtwo. So Mewtwo combination is going to be Confusion and Ice Beam as the highest DPS DDO delivering counters. But take into account, it does have a Quick move and a Charge move that are also going to be weak. So really, technically speaking, as of right now, 1 through 8 counters, there is not a super safe bet, which is going to bring us to counter number 9, which is going to be Golem with Rock Throw and Stone Edge. Stone Edge being a 1 bar charge, this Pokemon is also going to be weak to fighting. And then we have the Alolan Golem with the Rock Throw and Stone Edge combination, also going to be weak to fighting. And then we have Regigigas, counter number 11, which is going to be Hidden Power in the normal form and Giga Impact. Regigigas is very powerful. It definitely gets up there, so it may be a Pokemon you consider using. However, we are now moving into counter number 12. So Garchomp is going to be number 12. It is going to have Dragon Tail Outrage combination. It is going to have resistance to electric Pokemon. So Garchomp is really good in this regard. The movesets that it has are not delivering super effective damage to the Thundurus. However, it is not weak to any of its moves. And the other thing I do want to caution you guys is I still believe in my heart that Gible will have a community day at some point or another. So I really caution powering up and evolving some of these Gibbles or Gabites into Garchomps because I'm just nervous, you know, like that at some point it's going to have a community day. So I really caution you guys on this counter, even though it really makes up a very resistant Pokemon. And if you do have a Garchomp, it may be a great Pokemon to start your parties with that we will cover in a second. And counter number 13 is going to be the Rayquaza with the Dragon Tail and the Ancient Power. So although it's not getting the same type attack bonus for the Ancient Power, it is going to deliver effective damage against this Thundurus. The other thing is it is not going to be weak to any of its movesets because Dragon is going to cancel out the Flying type weakness. And then in the 14th spot, we have the Jinx, which is going to be Frost Breath and Avalanche combination. The cool thing about Jinx, it's going to be a Psychic and an Ice type. Psychic is going to be resistant to fighting, Ice is going to be weak to fighting, which is going to cancel out the fighting weakness. So Jinx may be an option for some of you budget players that are looking to build a party that might be relatively safe. However, this Pokemon is definitely glassy, so be careful building full parties of Jinxes, but if you need something for the end, this is a Pokemon that you may want to consider. In counter 15, we have Articuno with Frost Breath and Ice Beam combination. Really like this Articuno. It's a fun Pokemon to play with. While the flying is going to cancel out the fighting weakness, it is still going to be weak to electric. And then we have Porygon Z in rank 16, which is going to be Lock-On and Blizzard. Lock-On charges relatively fast. However, Porygon being a normal Pokemon is going to be weak to the fighting. And then we have Regirock in the Rock Throw and Stone Edge combination, weak to fighting as well. And in the 18th spot, we have the Kyogre with the Waterfall Blizzard combination. Kyogre is water type Pokemon, so it's going to be weak to electric. This is really stretching down. However, if it does have a Ghost Quick move and something like the Fighting Charge move, this would be a really effective counter because Blizzard from Kyogre is going to deal a ton of damage to this Pokemon. And then we have Regice Frost Breath Blizzard. It's going to be weak to fighting, but it's going to deal effective damage if it used properly. And then in 20th, we have the Salamence with the Dragon Tail Outrage. Really powerful Pokemon. It's not going to be weak to anything. However, the movesets are also not strong. It's just a really strong Pokemon in general, which is followed by another strong Pokemon. However, has 2 weaknesses. One being fighting. It's going to be Dialga with the Dragon Breath and the Draco Meteor. And if you guys want to keep going, you can check out the Aerodactyl. You can check out the Palkia. You can check out the Dragonite, Giratina Origin Form, Excadrill, Omastar, Latios, Electivire, and the Aggron. So if you guys do want to check out any of those, make sure to go back and pause when we are having them on the screen so you can check out their movesets. But stay towards the top, guys. And I would suggest, since there's so many differences as far as what moves it can get, definitely trust in the populator. If you're not getting populated with rock type Pokemon, or ice type Pokemon, maybe you have a Mewtwo being populated, this would be an indicator that it has the fighting Brick Break move. However, if the rock and the ice type Pokemon are being populated, chances are it doesn't have it. So it's only one of its 4 specials, and only 25% of the time it's going to be that move, so it's definitely something that you can check out. So now we're going to check out how do the weather conditions affect Thundurus in Pokemon Go. As far as the sunny weather, we do not have any effect on the Thundurus. However, in the partly cloudy, we're going to get boosted to our rock type Pokemon, so anything with rock is going to be more effective against the Thundurus, so it's definitely going to be a time that you do use this. However, even if it does have fighting moves, it's still going to be weak to that move. And it's also going to boost some of our normal type Pokemon like the Regigigas and the Porygon Z using the lock-on move. And cloudy weather is going to boost the Brick Break move of the Thundurus, so anytime there is cloudy weather and it has the fighting move, it is not going to be the time to use some of these Pokemon like the ice and the rock Pokemon, because it's going to deal a lot of damage. In the rainy weather, it's really going to boost the Thundurus all the way to 25. It's also going to boost all of its electric type moves, so that's a time that we don't want to use Kyogre, because chances are it's going to have at least one type of electric move. But besides that, that's going to be when we catch it at weather boosted conditions. In the snowy weather, it's going to boost all of our ice type Pokemon, so even if it does happen to have Brick Break, using a really powerful Mamoswine or something like that may be really effective during this time frame. And then finally, we have windy weather, which is going to boost the Thundurus all the way to level 25. It doesn't have any flying type moves, so we are safe as far as moves coming at us. However, it's still going to make the Thundurus more powerful. And then finally, we have the foggy weather, which is going to boost the Astonish as well as the Crunch, the Quick and the Charge move. So we're going to want to watch out using Mewtwo during that condition if it has the Astonish or the Crunch. So with all of that information, what does that mean for you guys, and how do you set up to the best of your abilities? So setting up your parties. Starting off, we're going to have 2 different types of parties. Number 1, that's going to have the Brick Break move, so we're not going to be using the Ice and the Rock type Pokemon. Both parties, though, are going to start with a Dragon type Pokemon, because these Dragon type Pokemon are not going to be weak to any of the movesets that Thundurus is going to be delivering. Following by all of the Pokemon in this party that's not going to be fighting type, I would go with the Mewtwo's. If you have Ice Beam, make sure not to TM away Psystrike or the Shadow Ball, so you're going to have to add a second charge move if you have not already done so. You could also populate this party with the Jinx, and you can also populate these party with any of the other Dragon type Pokemon. And for the other party, I suggest you guys set up is going to be similar start with a Dragon type Pokemon, because we're not 100% certain what move's going to be coming at us. Then you are going to have all of the Ice and the Rock type counters, because those are the Pokemon that are going to be weak to fighting. And if that party is going to be weak to the Brick Break, you're going to back out and you're going to go in with your other party, which is going to be strong against the Brick Break or not weak to it. So that's going to do it, guys. I hope you guys found this useful. We are going to be checking out the excellent throw tutorial as well as the best of the best to make sure you guys are ready to max out on this Thundurus in Pokemon Go. I'm excited to get after that. I can't wait to do it with you guys too. Thank you to all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, and everybody who takes their subscription in any facet support to the next level. I'm going to see you guys out on the next video. Peace!
I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.